The difference between a successful e-commerce business and one that fails is often due to the website and the user experience itself. I mean, it's crazy, but 90% of e-commerce businesses fail within the first 120 days. And that's usually because people will figure out a product to sell, build their website, and then they start to get people to come to the website and no one buys. I mean, think about it. Doubling your conversion rate from 2 to 4% is literally doubling your revenue, which is a game changer. So I spent the last 2 weeks testing a ton of different AI tools to figure out how can you actually improve your website without spending a ton of money. I wanted our budget to be $100 for this whole experiment. And we use all these different AI tools to help build our website, which turned out really well. And so in this video, I'm just going to go through exactly how we use these AI tools to build an e-commerce website and teach you how you can do the same, all by spending less than $100 and creating something that is actually going to perform well. And this will include how to generate product images using AI, all the copy for your website, the other random photos on your website, including the banner images and the hero images, and even some AI tools that I found extremely useful and when we were building our website. But first, let me explain why I'm doing this. Back in December of 2022, I grew 60,000 TikTok followers in about a month just talking about different AI tools that existed. However, I felt like an imposter. I never truly tested these tools out to know if they worked well or if they didn't. I just showed people them. So by launching our own e-commerce company, that allows us to test all these different AI tools that exist for e-commerce brands and know which ones are actually good or not. And why this matters is because I'm the CEO of an AI startup called GenerAI that helps e-commerce brands only use ads that drive sales. And my reputation with other e-commerce founders means a lot to me. I can't tell them about a tool if I don't actually believe in it and know that it works well. And to add a fun spin to it, we decided to let AI make every decision for us and document the whole journey to see if AI is capable of launching a business and going from $0 to $50,000 in revenue in just 120 days. So along the way, we're going to be testing out hundreds of different AI tools and telling you which ones are actually going to work well and which ones we would not recommend, so you can know exactly which ones to use when you're thinking about launching your own e-commerce company. But this video covers the most important part, which is the website. So in this video, I'll cover the exact ChatGPT prompts that we use to generate the copy, the Midjourney prompts that we use to create all of the different images, and again, some more tools that we found extremely useful that I would recommend. So let's jump into it. Now, the worst strategy that you can do is just dive into Shopify or wherever you're building your website and just start dragging and dropping. You want to have a solid foundation for all the copy and images before you start. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is create a copy map, and that lays out all the copy that's going to show up on your website. And we have a template for you to use, including the copy map that we use for our startup, which is GenerAI. We'll link that below in the description so you have easy access to it. The reason copy maps are so helpful is because when you know what you're looking for, using ChatGPT does become a lot easier. So you're going to want to start by introducing yourself to ChatGPT. So this includes letting ChatGPT know what your mission is, your vision, products that you're selling, how much you're selling your products for, the voice or the tone that you're going after in your messaging, who your ideal customer is. All of these different things are very important for ChatGPT to know in order to create the best copy for you. And my favorite piece of advice is then to ask ChatGPT if it has any more follow-up questions to try to understand your audience more. Because again, ChatGPT needs to know everything. And if you want to see exactly how we use ChatGPT to create the brand guidelines for High Tide and our mission and tagline and everything else, make sure you click on the video below in the description and watch that first. Okay, so once ChatGPT knows your brand, you can start filling in your copy map. So for example, the first thing that you're going to need is the hero text or the big text that's going to be right on the homepage of your website. So then you can ask ChatGPT, according to all the information above, write a tagline or write the hero text for my website. And you can modify it or ask it to have a specific tone if you wanted it to be funny or serious or happy. Whatever you want it to be, you can customize it. And again, ChatGPT operates as if it's a conversation. So you can just be constantly giving it feedback on what you like or don't like. Just make sure you use please and thank you. I feel like it's always just better and more human when you do that. And now I'm not going to spend a ton of time walking through the entire copy map because you can use that exact same prompt for all the other types of copy on your website, like the subheading text or the body text or product descriptions. You can use ChatGPT for all of this because it knows who your brand is already. So once you have the copy map completed and all of the text that's going to be on your website is finalized, that's when you're going to want to start to create images based on that text. It's a lot easier to start generating images if you know what you're looking for, instead of having to go the reverse of just generating random images and then trying to think of text around that. For example, ChatGPT told us that our swim trunks were the world's comfiest shorts, and when people think of comfy, it's often associated with clouds. And so I then was able to take that copy and create and generate an image using AI around that idea of a cloud. So we generated a man sitting on clouds in the sky wearing swim trunks and smiling. And so speaking of images, that's a good transition to start to tell you about the tool that we use to generate all the images on our website, and that is Midjourney. Midjourney is a text to image platform, so you just describe the image that you're looking for and it's going to generate a brand new image that's never existed before. However, there is a very steep learning curve to using Midjourney. It's not very easy, but don't worry, we have spent hours testing different prompts to get you everything that you need to know to create the best images on there. And the best thing about this is we didn't have any product images before we started. We just use AI to generate all of it on our website. And so we didn't need to wait for products to get here or hire actors. We use Midjourney to create everything, including what our products were going to look like. So the first thing to know about Midjourney, and this is a little bit of a hack, but you can actually upload an image and have Midjourney give you the description of that image. So let's just say that you were selling swim trunks. We could just go to Chubbies or Saks, upload an image of what they are selling, and Midjourney would tell us the prompt that we should use to get an image like that. Okay, so now let's dive into the exact prompts that we use and the output that Midjourney gave us. So starting with product images, which was the most important thing, we needed to showcase what our swim trunks could potentially look like. All right, so let's dive into the product images. Okay, so here's the exact prompt we use for this image right here. Close-up view, straight-on view, man wearing men's swim trunks, light blue colored shorts with small white dots and navy shapes, 3D, photorealistic, commercial shoot, blurred white background. And as you can see, I mean, it turned out really realistic and we were happy enough with it to actually produce swim trunks that look like this. And now we can dive into the website and how you can actually use Midjourney to create some really cool UX UI concepts of what your website could look like. Now, I'm not experienced enough at using Shopify to custom build this. However, if you do know that, this could be a really cool way to create a website that stands out. And the prompt for this image was actually really easy. Beautiful landing page, swim trunks, beach, water, website, UX, UI, UX, UI. It's as easy as that to generate something that looks this good. Again, it didn't take a lot to get to this image, but I think it turned out really cool. And so the last of the product images, this one's a little more unique. I thought that this was cool. It looked very much so like a studio was able to create this. And the prompt that we used was cloud shaped like men's swim trunks, silo, studio lighting, commercial photography. That's it. All right, so now diving into the stock images, and most people will use a website like Unsplash to get free images to use on their website. However, you start to see the same ones pop up over and over again. And so we use AI to generate all the different stock images on our site, and this was probably the favorite one that we created. So the prompt of us to be able to get this man sitting on a cloud in swim trunks was view of man just wearing swim trunks, sleeping on a huge white fluffy cloud shaped like a huge bed, photorealistic, ocean in the background, tropical, happy. And so just based on that prompt, we were able to generate a really cool image that now serves as the hero image on our website. And now you're going to want to look at the copy and see what lines up for when you have to use Midjourney to create the images. If your product is swim trunks like ours, a lot of it was revolving around people on a beach wearing swim trunks, those sorts of things. And we just found the copy that made sense and generated an image on top of it. So when you're generating more images on Midjourney, make sure you go back to your copy map to see what makes sense. For example, one of the taglines that we had was nuts about comfort, and we were able to generate an image of two golf balls sitting in a hammock that just kind of looked cozy. But that made sense because the copy there was applicable to what we were trying to portray. All right, now once you have all the copy and the images, this is the easy part. You just have to go into Shopify and choose one of the templates and fill in all the copy and fill in all the images that you have now generated. This is the part that is probably a little more tedious because Shopify doesn't make it easy to customize their templates that they already have made. However, I do think that that still is the easiest way to go about it. And the reason why I would recommend Shopify over any of the other website builders simply comes down to the Shopify App Store. Every new tool that comes out, especially in the AI space, is going to be built upon the Shopify App Store, meaning that if you build on another platform, let's just say it's Wix, like we tried to do at first, you're going to quickly realize that there's not too many apps that exist for Wix and thousands more that are built on top of Shopify. Now, there are a ton of different Shopify apps out there and people that have tested all of them, probably more in depth than I have. However, I'm gonna bring up the 3 that I think are very useful when it comes to trying to increase that conversion rate, because that's the biggest thing about a website. You need it to perform well enough to drive people to make a sale. So the first tool that I love is called Adaptive, and essentially it personalizes your website for every visitor. So if a 24-year-old male visits your site or a 50-year-old male, they're gonna see different product recommendations right away and even different images for those products. And personalization is the key to any website. That's gonna help you see that increase in conversion rate and even return on your ad spend when you get to that point. And the next one that we love is called Rebuy Engine, and this one's very similar to Adaptive. You're gonna see a very consistent trend here of you need your website to be personalized, and these are the tools that I have found to be best at doing that. So Rebuy Engine actually allows for personalized discounts. So depending on the user that comes and visits, they're gonna see a different discount code or type of discount to be able to try to get that person to convert more. I also think they have a very clean interface when it comes to the checkout of adding products to try to increase that average order value, which again is a huge part of having a successful e-commerce business. And so the last tool that we love is called heatmap.com, and most heat map companies show you where a lot of people are stopping or clicking or anything along those lines, but what this company does that's very unique is it shows you exactly where people are converting from, meaning which buttons are driving a lot of your sales or a lot of your conversions. And this is very helpful to know how well optimized your website is and where you can make improvements if not a lot of people are converting at a certain point. So to summarize, all you need to do is use ChatGPT to think of the copy, use Midjourney to create the images, and then use Shopify to put both of them together, and you have your website live. And I know that these websites aren't going to be perfect and there are probably better options out there, but when it comes to affordability and the least amount of effort possible, this is probably going to be your best plan. The best way that you're going to learn anything is just by starting and seeing what works or what doesn't work. If your website has a low conversion rate, you know that you need to make improvements, but you're not going to be able to get any of that data until you actually have a website live. And that's been my goal with this video, is to just help you to be able to figure out the fastest, cheapest way to build a website in 2023. However, and I cannot stress this enough, no website will be able to help sell a bad product. And so spend a lot of your time making sure that the product that you are choosing actually has some sort of demand for it, because that is going to be the most important part. And you have to realize that because it's becoming easier and easier to launch a Shopify store, the competition for products is only going to become higher and higher. And so the quality and your overall strategy has to be dialed in if you want to stand out amongst all the other e-commerce companies in 2023. We're going to be making a video on how we use ChatGPT to think of 7 or 8 figure e-commerce ideas, so make sure you stay tuned because that's going to be launching soon. We are going to continue to make a ton of different videos talking about our journey scaling this e-commerce business from $0 to $50,000 in sales and testing all the AI tools out there. And so if you want to follow along and if you found this helpful, make sure that you like this video, make sure that you subscribe, and if you think someone else would find value from it, make sure you share it with them. Thank you guys, and see you next time.